Alright, listen, you can't talk about revolution, freedom, and especially collapse of the communist regime without coming here to this city. Because among all the countries that were communists, this city has overthrown its own communist regime and brought freedom to the country in less than a week. In a week, 10 days, which is the fastest modern history has ever known. In today's video, I'm taking you with me to the city of Timisoara. We could even go to see the bullet impacts from the events of 1989. But before we go there, I want you to go see how the people used to live during the communist era, before we talk about how the communists collapsed in Romania. Follow me. Let's go explore the Communist Museum of Timisoara. So this museum reproduces the lives of people during the communist era. So you see, like, I guess these are like toys for kids. You see like a chicken here, trains. Like, you know, when they inspire their kids with technology. You'll love this. Whoever is engineer watching this video or interested in technology, now we'll look at the technology during the communist era. Look at this TV here. Let's look at this one here. What do we have? Most of the cities, they would be like, you know, ex-communist cities. There is Athens in Greece, Monte Carlo. I like this museum because unlike most of the other communist museums I did, they were like very focused on, you know, the, how to say, the less good things about communism, which, you know, you could agree or disagree with this, but like they were kind of very negative vibes oriented, and many of those communist museums, they were like kind of, you know, built after the collapse of the communist regime. So yeah, those who, they will write the history in their own way. But this one, it shows you like the real life. So you see, one thing is that people at the time, they were super educated. Like I don't have time to go through every one of these, but that you will notice that people were very educated, interested into, you know, like music, reading. Sometimes I remember when I was living in Ukraine, you would see like an old man sitting in a bus with like a book, occupying his time while he's riding the bus. While, you know, the young generation, it's more on TikTok and Instagram. So yeah, this museum, I like it. It shows like kind of how the normal life of people was. Kitchen. That's important. That's important for both ladies and men. Oh, very simple kitchen. Oh, look at this one. This is cool. I would like to have this one in my house. Look how to peel like maybe orange. Not sure why you would use this. Maybe for meat. You see, these are the things we need for energy efficiency. I'm coming up with some new plans for the European Union. You got it wrong. Here's how you save energy. Are you ready for it? Instead of having electric meat grinders, just put your meat here and turn it like the communists used to do. They fixed this on the table and you put the meat here and you get it from the other side here. Wow. Like everything you would have today in terms of functionality, it exists. Now, the way, that's a different topic. Maybe their life wasn't that different from ours, actually. You know, imagine you live during the communist era. Just imagine second. You live during the communist era, you come here, and what's the first thing you do? You'll take shower, but there is no shower here, so I can't tell how the shower is, but they are renovating this place, so maybe they would put a shower here. But let's say the first thing, you miss your kids because you have been at work, so you come here to play with your kids. You'll see probably, you'll ask your kid, did you do your homework? Then ideally you would see your kids here solving some math or geometry problems, you know. And then after that, let's say you have another kid who is younger, passionate about music, then you play with him or her. Let's say her because she is a girl. You teach her that this one is different. Oh, I love this tool. I think if I was living during the communist era, I would be playing with this more than my kids. Then maybe you'll go to the kitchen sexist like I am, you'll give your wife a kiss because maybe your wife was in the kitchen cooking for you. This is very sexist. You know, during the communist era, women played a major role in their societies. Like, you have no idea like how much they participated in every aspect of life during the communist era. So yeah, they were in science, whatever you want, just name it. Maybe the man will be cooking and the wife coming back from work. But let's keep it pretty and cute. You go to the kitchen, you give your wife a kiss. Then you come to your, let's say, your other living room. You turn on, imagine, you turn on the radio and you are in Timisoara, but you want to listen to what's going on in Lyon. And we found in this radio that you could catch Lyon actually. From here you could even catch Stavanger in Norway. You listen to the oil and gas industry, you'll hear that the Norwegians are excited because they discovered in 1963 huge reserves of gas and oil. And then you turn on the TV to see what's your, state media is saying. Then you sit probably here on the couch, drink a beer. Yeah, maybe after, where is the dinner? Let's say you get the dinner here with your family. Right, you eat here. You take your kids to the bedroom, read some story for them, and then come back to this room and relax with your pretty wife right there on the couch. Before you do that, you take this Stefan Ruska and you chill on the couch with your pretty Romanian woman. Life is beautiful. Well, what's gonna happen after? I'm not gonna go into the detail. But anyway, I hope this tour of a true communist house pleased you or inspired. Am I seeing right? The US Air Force? Is this the US Air Force toy? Let's get it out. They don't say which country, but judging on the colors, these are not like Soviet colors, I guess. Looks more like American colors. Wow. See, this family had some foreign goods. Oh, look at the license plate actually. This is interesting. Ministerul de Intern. The Interior Ministry. What do we get? Verificat. So it was checked in 1986. Oh, technical check. 1986. Here it is. Your Romanian license plate during the communist era. Tom and Jerry? Are you kidding me? They had American characters here. So, was their life so different from ours today, especially in the West? Or do you feel some familiarities with this communist house? Alright, let's go. Now, of course, there is more than a thing where Timisoara was the first. Now, of course, here related to the Romanian Revolution, but you can't ignore the medieval heritage of this city. So here I am in what they call the Old Town, but you may say it's like any other old town in Central East Europe. Well, that is true, yes, but this one differs from the others that it has many main squares. You have here what they call Unirii Square, which is the Union Square. And then if you continue there for a few meters, you'll find the Freedom Square, and after that you'll find another square called the Victory Square, and each one of them has its own history, its own heritage, with its own vibes. So yeah, this is to me one of the things that makes this old town of Timisoara a bit different from the others I've seen in Central Eastern Europe. Also, this that you see, let's start from that one. You see the church you see there? That is a Roman Catholic church. right? So think of the vibes of Italy, the Vatican. This here is a Christian Orthodox Serbian church. Serbian because, what I didn't tell you, Timisoara is located in the region of the three lands. Three lands speaking of Hungary, Serbia and Romania. So it's really the intersection of these three countries. So as you could imagine, throughout millennia of history, it has a lot of cultural heritage here. You see it of course in the religious monuments, in the facades also. Just look at this one and tell me if this building does not remind you, sorry for the sun, if it doesn't remind you of the city of Oradea, a beautiful art deco building. And if it doesn't remind you Hungary, look at all the other facades there. Certainly the Austrian heritage and influence. And as I said earlier, there is a lot of first things that Timisoara did. One of them is the first city of the entire European continent with electric lights like these ones you see here. So Timisoara was the first to introduce them to Europe in 1885, if I'm not mistaken. Now let's talk a bit about the history of Timisoara, the medieval one. Why they call this space here, this square, sorry, the Liberty Square. See, there is some food truck event here all over the place, music. This is because of the Hungarian Revolution of 1848 to 1849 after France and Belgium. So this was one of the most important events in the modern European history, where a lot of Central Western European powers, I mean the people, revolted against that feudalism system. That's actually one of the reasons here in Hungary. But Timisoara at the time was part of Hungary. So a lot of Hungarian resistance, they came here to Timisoara. Unfortunately at the time in 1848, 1849, their revolution didn't succeed and the Austrian Empire won, and they executed generals from the Hungarian army in the city of Arad actually. And yeah, so they imposed a pure dictatorship at the time, which didn't last, because I think in 1963 the Hungarians and the Austrian, they united, and yeah, life become easier for people here in terms of personal freedoms. We'll go to the next square, the third one, which is called the Victory Square, and that's where a lot of things about the Romanian Revolution of 1989 that overthrew the communist regime. Yes, there's a lot of revolutions that happens in the city. That's where they took place, and I hope I'm gonna find the bullet impacts from 1989. They told me you could still see some buildings with them. Wow, look at the beautiful church there. And that church also has a history related to overthrowing the communist regime of Romania. So let's get closer. Who would tell that a religious monument, a beautiful one like this one, would be involved in the Romanian Revolution of 1989 and somehow would cause the death of 43 innocent Romanian people who were demonstrating at the time against the communist regime. This just somehow shows you how ruthless the communist regime of Romania, among other communist regimes, they were, and how little they cared about the holy places that the people worship. So let's cross, and I'm gonna tell you what happens about this beautiful cathedral, Orthodox cathedral, during the Romanian Revolution. Now, what happened here at this cathedral would play a major role in overthrowing the communist regime, because a group of 30 men, they challenged the curfew that was imposed by La Securitate. So they came here and they were chanting like "Awaken Romanians." And they had a Romanian flag they took out that communist emblem, leaving a hole in the flag, and they were chanting that. Now, of course, what happens is the La Securitate, but also the military, because La Securitate, which was the secret service, let's call it like this, of the communist regime, they couldn't handle the situation on their own, so they called on the army also. So they started shooting on people. The story is some of them tried, they went actually inside the cathedral, and the church, the cathedral let them in, but then when they saw that the military were even shooting on the priests themselves, they closed the door. So not all the protesters could make it inside the cathedral. I don't know exactly how many of them stayed outside, but yeah, few of them have died because they couldn't make it to the cathedral that has closed the doors on the people of the revolution. So I'm not sure how the Romanian society has interpreted and seen this event, you know, a cathedral closing its doors on innocent civilians trying to escape the dictatorship. But anyway, there is even actually a picture of one of the men who died in 1989. His name is Sorin Lea. You see, December 18, 1989. See another date here, December 17, 1989. I still didn't succeed to find the bullets impacts on the buildings, but I guess I'll continue that way in the Victory Square. Now, why they were also chanting Romanians come with us? Because the main reason why the Romanian Revolution started here in Timisoara, actually it's not in December, it's actually in July 1989, when a pastor, a Hungarian, I mean he's Romanian but from the Hungarian minority, he made an interview and he criticized some of the Ceausescu measures. And since then the bishop, he even took his status from him, so he lost his apartment when he was living and he sent him to some countryside. So that actually started in July, and the final decision was to evict him, you know, to take him out of the country. Now of course the Hungarian minority did not accept that, and it was seen at the time as a, you know, an uprising or a revolt of a minority, not of the Romanian people. Because one of the things that he said in his interview of July 1989 is that he said most of Romanians don't even know their rights, their human rights. That's what he said during the interview. And that the communist regime took it as inciting for ethnical hate. Like any reason was good, because what was even funnier, cynical I would say, is to listen to the reasons that Ceausescu would give during the entire, you know, like revolution of Timisoara, and how it would spread like wildfire up to Bucharest. The funny part even was it on December 20, 1989, the communist regime, they went to another factory with a lot of workers and they give them like wood and kind of, you know, some rudimentary weapons. They told them, you gotta come with us to Timisoara. The workers said, why? What's going on in Timisoara? Because there was, you know, like no free media. The communists told the workers, the Romanian workers, oh, some Hungarians and hooligans are looting the city of Timisoara. So of course the Romanian workers, they were mad, they took the weapons they had and they came, like, I don't know, like was it like 100,000 workers to defend the city of Timisoara. But when they came here, they ended up joining the, you know, the mass that was demonstrating and uprising against the communist regime, because they realized that what the communist regime told them wasn't really true. But it's impressive to see like how the authorities could manipulate so easily the you know, the public opinion and use it to their advantage. But yes, it is a Hungarian pastor who started the Romanian Revolution. Should I say it like this? His name was Laszlo Tokes. Buildings with bullets, where are you? I think I see some inconsistent facades. Let me get closer. I see some holes on the facades. You see all those holes there? You see them right there. And then you have them here on the corner. Wow, is this normal? Maybe they are doing some work. Let's see the other side of the facade actually. If we find the same thing on the other side of the facade, then it's normal, because I don't think they were shooting from all directions. So maybe they were shooting only from there. Let's see here. Are there any holes on the facade? I don't think so. I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see any holes here. Not a single one. Let's go back. I think we found our facade actually. Yes, these are the bullet impacts. And you know why I'm sure that these are bullet impacts? Because when they started shooting at people, they were not started shooting, you know, directly at them, because they didn't want to, you know, kill them. That wasn't the intention. They started shooting in the air. So that's why most of the bullets impacts, you see some holes here, but you see more there, for example, at the top. I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to be living in one of these apartments at the time, but you see all the facades there. But then of course, when people didn't care about them shooting, they started shooting at people. And it's crazy, I think the people were coming from the Freedom Square, which is the other way. So they were coming from there to here, and this is where the military met them, because La Securitat, as I said earlier, could not contain the uprising, so they called on the help of the military, which was a stupid decision, because it was a clear sign for the population that this, like calling on the military to, you know, to the streets, this does not come from the mayor of the city. This is coming from the highest order of the country, Nicolae Ceausescu, who was the president of the communist regime at the time. But yeah, here is your facade with bullet impacts shot from December 1989 on civilian protesters. And I'm lucky that they did not cover the whole facade, because they are doing some repair actually. Let's see that old building there. Maybe there are some bullet impacts, because it's one of the only ones that is not renovated yet. Oh, I see some holes. I see some holes in the facade. Usually, as I said, they start shooting at the top. These holes are not normal. Look at that one there. Let me zoom. Here we go. Yeah, the holes there up to there, these are not normal. The other holes, same. Wow, these are massive holes. Look at this one in the corner here. This one. Wow, look more here. No, don't tell me that they were shooting like this. Look, another hole here. That's, you see, this is something I never seen in any facade here in East of Europe in general. Like holes like these. So I would say these are the bullet impacts from the Romanian Revolution of 1989, because suddenly I'm a ballistic expert. I can look at the hole in the facade and tell you if it's from the revolution of 1965, 1989. This is ridiculous. I know, more seriously, I think these are from the police and the military who shot the civilians. I mean, they were shooting in the sky in the beginning to disperse them, but it didn't work. See, I want to believe that I'm wrong, but when I look at this facade, how, you know, well put together, all of it except here. Look at these. It's even not like holes, it's almost like, you know, yeah, it's impacts without making it through the wall. You have it here, 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 there again, there again. Also some holes there, you see? There also. Actually there. There, yes. And there, two sides of the window. Did the police come here to this narrow alley to shoot people? I don't know. See how life can change in only 30 years? Total freedom. Now let's test your history. Do you know this monument? This one with the animal and the two kids. This is called Lupa Capitolina. Benito Mussolini, the fascist, he had a habit of giving such a monument as a gift to countries that had kind of Latin ties, and as you know, Romania and Moldova are the only Latin countries in East of Europe. Like you look at the Wall of Berlin, from there to Japan if you want, the only Latin two countries are Romania and Moldova. So of course he offered the city of Timisoara the Lupa Capitolina, which is like the Capitoline wolf. And the reason why it's called the wolf, because you see, it's a wolf actually, it's a female, I mean it's a wolf, yeah, it's female. And there are two kids suckling the breast of the the wolf, the two kids are Remus and Romulus. Romulus. These are supposed to be the founders of the city, the almighty city of Rome, and even the Roman Empire. The reason why is because they were left as orphans, like without parents, and the wolf found them, and she started, you know, breasting them until another peasant found them, and then he adopted the two kids, Remus and Romulus, who would be the founders of the city of Rome. So this is like of a high significance for for Italy and the Roman Empire. You know, the existence of the Roman Empire. The reason why I'm talking to you about this is because during the Second World War, actually, when Romania switched side, the last year of the Second World War, Romania switched side from the Axis to the Allies. So, of course, the people of Timisoara were not happy about the fact that Italy is supporting Hungary, that at the time during the Second World War took a lot of territories, especially the beautiful Transylvania. So the people of Timisoara protested actually, and they were chanting, wait for it, Duke, Duke, take your bitch and fuck her. The bitch, they meant the wolf, and Duke because that was his nickname. He was called like the Duke, you know. So yeah, funny story about the people of Timisoara. So how much do you pay for your kids?
Undeva la 600-700 de euro pe lună.
Okay. Wow.
Fără medicamente.
During Ceausescu, free. Okay.
Medicamente, tratamente, doctor.
The hospital doctors.
Acum la doctor, dacă se uită un pic în gură, 50 de euro. Am dat la fiică mea zile trecute la mare de 8 ani. I-am dat la nevastă mea 4 sau 5 milioane, 10 milioane au fost, nu știu ce plombe, 2 plombe.
I see.
Unde era mai bine? Vreau Ceausescu sau? Acum,
so during Ceausescu was better?
Eu zic că da.
I see. He says it was better.
Industrie era, nu depindeai de nimeni, acum nu mai nimic, tot au distrus.
And I wanted to ask you, the European Union, is it good or bad for Romania?
Bad.
Bad?
Da.
Okay.
Deși te ajută la unele chestii, că face niște reguli în care în mod normal și te ajută cu niște bani pe care în mod normal ai noștri i-ar fura dacă n-ar fi Uniunea Europeană. Adică au ajuns la putere tot ăștia care îs fi de comuniști, care au fost în sistem, care au fost acolo.
Okay.
Corupți.
Corrupted, okay.
Acolo pleacă problema.
There's another crazy thing I read, is that you see what was happening in Timisoara for like 3-4 days from December 17 up to, let's say, December 21st. Like other parts of the country didn't know about it. Like no media in the country said anything about what was going on in Timisoara because they were afraid that other people will join the protesters. And the Romanians learned about it from American news and German news. I think it was called the Free Radio of Europe or something like that. But there has been things happening in the Freedom Square, this one, the Liberty Square, sorry, during the 1989 revolution. Here's some public water with people's names, because in case I didn't tell you that, more than 1,000 people died during the Romanian Revolution. There's some music there. I'll get away so you could hear me. You know, that's the Romanian Revolution of 1989 that overthrew the communist regime. It wasn't the only one. The Polish did the same, Czechoslovakia, Bulgaria, Hungary, a lot of countries actually. But this is the most violent, like no doubt about it. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's the only violent one among all the other kind of, overthrow of communist regimes. The Baltic states they even broke up from the Soviet Union. But yeah, this is the only one that was really violent. More than 1,000 people died. Like they say, the hospitals, by December 30, which is just 5 days after they executed Ceausescu, the hospitals of Timisoara, they were like packed, and it wasn't an exception. Other hospitals knew the same thing, but since this is the city where the Romanian Revolution started, so of course they knew it was more overwhelming than other places. But yeah, I think these are the names of some martyrs, I guess. This is really cool. Did we start this video video talking about communism. Look, now we're looking at one of the most free things you could see in the world. Kids sitting, enjoying their time, free, safe, and their parents enjoying their weekend. Because yes, they have weekends here in Romania. They even have holidays, not the 2 weeks, more than that.
Not like this, and dressed like that. How could I wanna be anywhere else? Got a heart of gold and a soul to match. Can measure this moment in a photograph. You look so beautiful.
Alright, after a long day tracking the communist impact bullets and all that stuff, now it's time to eat because I'm a bit hungry. So I got, this is not borscht, it's tomato soup in one of the places near the, actually at the Union Square here in Timisoara, and I'm kind of still reflecting on everything I've seen today, starting from those, you know, bullet impacts and at the same time the medieval history of Timisoara, you know, like how the Hungarians were here, the Serbs, also the Turks, like the Ottomans. They stayed for like 164 years in Timisoara, where they ruled the city, I would say. It still had like a high level of autonomy, the city of Timisoara. That's why you don't see that much remain of the Ottomans here. And now after that I went to the Communist Museum. That was interesting to see how the lives of the people at the time was, and it didn't feel, I don't know, just didn't feel so different from anything we would see there. Now of course, outside of that house, during like the normal life in a communist environment, things were different. You wouldn't criticize the ruling regime, or you would disappear, like, you know, to be heard a few years later in prison, or maybe never. So but like life from the house is like, you know, the normal life, you know. So but that museum was interesting. I'll leave you the link because, as I said, it doesn't focus on only the negative things of the communism, because most of the communist museums, they were founded after the collapse of the communist regime. So, you know, the ones who crafted the history, they crafted it in their own way. So this one was like more kind of just neutral, showing the life. And I don't know, what do you think? What do you think about what you saw? Have you been to Romania? Do you know anything about, you know, like the communist regime of Romania or any other communist regime that was here in East of Europe? Please comment below the video. This has been said, my friends. I thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If yes, feel free to share it with your friends and family. And I will have to leave you because it's not that I don't like you, it's just my brain starts to, wind down because I'm too hungry. Alright, see you in the next one. Mulțumesc! Ciao!